Hello and welcome everybody. Happy New Year to everyone. Who have we got in the chat today then? Okay, we've got Sky Jiang, Mark's Emblem, Damien Wright, String Family. Well, as you can probably see on the screen right now, we've got the great Ace Attorney, the adventures of... I'm not even going to try and say his name now. Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Okay, so I want to start this by saying a big thank you to, if I bring up the game actually, I probably should do that. This was all made possible by the team over at the Scarlet Study. So this team have been working for almost two years, pretty much almost as soon as the game came out, to translate, well, or localize, as we should probably say, because they're doing a lot of great work bringing the references and making sure that everything's all working out into the game and making sure it's understandable, whereas a straight up translation can end up a bit confusing. They're doing amazing work, so please do check them out. I've put their website in the description. They're doing amazing work translating this game. I've only played a little bit of the first episode, so just to make sure it's all working and everything. Had a few little issues before, but they helped me work that out. So what I will say, thank you very much for the Scarlet Study, and like I say, visit their website, show them a bit of support. So what we're going to be doing, we've also got one of the Scarlet Study in the chat today if you want to ask him any questions or anything. So yes, it is now available on Android. It was released about last year. I was sort of curious if they were going to move on to Android to help translate it there as well as the 3DS version. I was playing the 3DS version. I bought both 3DS and the Android version. So let's get into it. I've been really excited to play this. I've been holding off playing the previous versions because they're now up to episode 4. And episode 4, well, I believe there's 5 episodes in total. And they've been working incredibly hard bringing all the episodes to us. Let's begin. Okay. It's been decades since Japan finally opened itself to the world, under the guise of enlightenment. Western culture has surged into this far eastern island country. Residents of a bustling capital have been swallowed up by the waves of change and reform. Even those who were once perplexed by such ideas now lie helplessly in their wake. Bang, okay. And now, the curtain rises over a certain story from this era. Okay. The Adventure of the Great Departure. Bienvenido a la Cantos. Here we go. So they've also translated all the movies as well, which is brilliant. Okay, what's the chat saying? Have you ever played Ace Attorney Online? I have briefly last year. I never really got into it too properly. I've always been a big fan of the Ace Attorney series in general, back from the original on the DS when it was released. Okay. Damien Wright says, I want to watch, but at the same time, play it myself. Mad conflicted right now. Honestly, if you want to play it blind like I am, more than welcome if you want to leave and play it yourself. I'm playing it through blind myself here. I'm just really excited. Okay, 22nd of November, 8:43 AM, Supreme Court, Defendant Lobby number 5. Click. Even now I find it hard to believe. But while everything seems so calm in this waiting room, just one step beyond lies the grand bench where my fate will be decided. Who's this guy? Official. What? Nothing. Glaring at me won't do you any good, you damned murderer. Sorry. My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I'm a second-year student at Imperial Yume University in the Empire of Japan. 3 days ago, I was caught up in a terrible incident. And now I await my judgment. Halt! Bailiff, that remark you just made, I can't let that pass. Excuse me, who do you think you are? I'm the defense attorney for the defendant before you. Defense attorney, you say? Until today's trial has ended, until the final verdict has been passed, you have no right to call this man a criminal. Watch your words, bailiff. Your pronunciations are not bad. Hey, thank you, man. I'm really not that great with different pronunciations of foreign countries, and I try my best. Gugh. Arrogant little know-it-all, you and your stupid logic. Yeah. Screw you. Screw you for thinking too hard. At least I'm capable of making logical arguments, unlike yourself. Oh! Don't you agree, Ryunosuke Naruhodo? Well, so sorry about all that. So, I like the fact that his headband is just waving in literally no wind at all. Why are you apologising to me? Never mind. I'm really sorry, Asugi, for giving you so much trouble. And in the end, you still apologise. You never change. Guess not. Lately, your name has been in every paper in the capital. Imperial Yume University professor killed. The culprit? A student of the same university. And yet, this incident is not your doing, is it? Of course not. You have to believe me. I didn't do it. I'm not a murderer. Then stop hanging your head. Chin up and back straight. Asugi. Asugi walks with a fan everywhere he goes. I can imagine that. I'm just seeing him in the distance, just having a fan, just making sure that headband still flies. This is my best friend, Kazuma Asugi. He's a second-year student like me, but to be frank, he and I are worlds apart. In fact, he's the pride and joy of our university. Even though he's still a student, he's already qualified to be a defense attorney. Well, wow. They say a warm wind follows him wherever he goes. Is that canon? Because I swear that is the most poetic thing I've ever heard. Guys, can we buy the judge by giving him a lolly? No. I don't reckon he's easily swayed like that. Defense attorneys are still an emerging profession here in Japan. We are but a meagre existence in the judicial system, at least for now. Oh man. That is the coolest thing ever. I want a warm wind to follow me. I know I already said this 3 days ago, but Asugi, as your friend, I couldn't be more proud of you. 3 days ago. That's right. That was when the incident occurred. Congratulations, Asugi. You've finally been approved to study abroad. Yes, I've finally done it. It feels like a dream come true. It seems the government has recognized my achievements as both a student and a lawyer. You will be studying the greatest legal system in the world as a representative of Japan. As your friend, I couldn't be more proud of you. There isn't a soul at Yume University who doesn't know Sugi's name. Wherever he goes, a mysterious warm breeze follows. Or so the legends say. Nice, nice, nice. For the sake of reforming this country's legal system, I wish to observe a true legal system across the sea with my own 2 eyes. The British Empire, I'd like to see it myself. Then why don't you come with me? It would bring me great pleasure to rampage through the Queen's domain with you. You make it sound so easy. Oh? Would you look at the time? I have to get going soon. I'll stay a bit longer. We did come all this way after all. You're right, we rarely get the chance to visit high-class establishments like this. Well then, take care. See you tomorrow in tomorrow's English lecture, partner. Ah, he's nice. I like him. I like him a lot. Shortly afterwards, the incident occurred. Asugi, a moment, please. Ah. Why, Professor, you've also come. Well, I can't say this incident does not concern me. More importantly, Asugi, you ought to go and see the judge in his chambers. The judge? He's been looking for you for quite some time. You took on the role of defense attorney without much warning, lest you forget. As a result, today's proceedings seem to be in a bit of disarray. Oh. Yeah, I'll fix that quickly. Make sure there's nothing holding it back. How is it now? Cool, cool, cool. Lovely. Okay, who's this gentleman? I feel like I've seen him around the university before. Understood. I'll be there at once. Allow me to accompany you. Well then, Naruhodo. I'll see you in the courtroom. Right, I'm counting on you, Asugi. Dot 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 dot. There's a lot of silence. Ugh, this is awkward. Oh, he smiles. Excuse me. Yes? Are you in... they're gonna say that name a lot, aren't they? Ryunosuke Naruhodo, the defendant in today's trial. I don't know how many times I can probably say that in a row. Yes, that's me. I am Eugene... Yujin Mikotaba, a professor of forensic pathology in Yume University. Professor Mikotaba? I've heard that name from Asugi. He's one who tirelessly lobbied for the government to let Asugi study abroad. Asugi has informed me that you are his best friend. Ah. If that's true, then there's something you must know. What is it? As you are aware, Asugi is set to study abroad in the British Empire. However, in the event that he loses today's trial, his trip will be suspended, and he shall never receive such an opportunity again. What? As I thought, you had no idea that this was the case. I suspected that Asugi would wish to hide the truth from you. So Asugi's defending me despite knowing the risks. Wait, why would they let him do that? Or why would they do that to him? Our government chooses who gets to study abroad from a wide pool of candidates. Let's just say that to receive such a privilege is no laughing matter. That's... Even so, I swear I didn't do it. I'm not a murderer. Oh, but of course. However, I must warn you, it'll be quite difficult to prove your innocence. You see, today's trial is special, to say the least. Oh? What do you mean by that? You'll find out once the trial begins, whether you like it or not. Then, what on earth should I do? Keep this in mind. I'm not asking you to just stand there and accept a guilty verdict. Huh? As soon as the trial begins, the judge will pose a certain question to the defense, to which you must reply, I am, before anyone else. I am? Hold on. What kind of question is this going to be? Oh, no way. Is it going to be something like, who's the killer? No, of course not. Defendant! The trial's about to start. Make your way to the courtroom at once. Strange Family asks, have you summoned on the New Year's banner yet? I have. I've already gotten 2 reads. And one of them's already gone to Lloyd, of course. Mark's Emblem says, just say, are you past the pizza? Are you past the pizza? I mean, that's easy. Okay. Wonderful. Okay. Oh my, it's time. It appears our secret talk must end here. In any case, I shall leave you with these words. Kazuma Asugi must not stand as defense in today's trial. Of course, the one who ultimately decides that will be you, the defendant. What are you waiting for? You want to be held in contempt of court when declared guilty? That cocky little attorney won't be much help anyway, so move it! It's gone black and white. If I lose today's trial, not only will I be found guilty of murder, but in addition, Asugi's study abroad will be cancelled. And so, blissfully unaware of what lay ahead, I headed off to the trial. Here we go. That fateful trial. One I'd never forget. Here we go. November the 22nd, 9 AM. Supreme Court, courtroom number 2. Oh, he's so nervous. So this is a courtroom. I mean, doesn't sound like a question. Ah yes, the Supreme Court. The highest legal authority in the Empire. Something feels off about the gallery. Like, Why are there so many people in uniform? Today's trial is being conducted in absolute secrecy by the government. I can't speak today. Why? Today's trial is being conducted in absolute secrecy by the order of the government. Absolute secrecy? That's right. The general public has no idea that this trial is taking place. The only ones allowed to be in attendance are military government officials. But why? You'll find out soon enough. More importantly, time to focus, Naruhodo is about to begin. Oh, okay, yeah, one note, his name is pronounced Asogi. Long O, not a U. Thank you for letting me know. I don't want to butcher any names. Okay. Court is now in session for the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. As is the defense. Before we proceed, there is one thing I'd like to confirm. Last night, I received an urgent request for a change of attorney from the defense. Yes, Your Honor. It was I who submitted that request. Custom dictates that an attorney ought to be appointed 2 days before the trial. Therefore, I must ask for confirmation. Who is to stand as a defense for the accused in today's trial? And that's the question. Here it is, the opening question. In other words, who will be defending me in this trial? But if I answer I am, that would mean... It means exactly what it means. There is no time to think. I should say I am. Your Honor, there is no need to confirm. Needless to say, the one who will be defending the accused is... Sir! What was that? That out-of-place yell. The one who will be defending the accused is... me, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. But... what? I mean, I'm literally pretty sure it was playing black and white there. He was saying, I am defending myself. What do you think you're doing, Naruhodo? Professor Mikutaba has told me everything. Come again? If I'm declared guilty, your study abroad will be suspended. I'm disappointed. You're saying that you don't trust me at all. You think that if I were your attorney, we would lose this trial. No, absolutely not, but if there's even a chance that you'd, because of me. I knew it. I knew you'd pull something like this. That's why I kept my mouth shut. Damn it, Professor Mikutaba. You've gone and done something completely unnecessary. Very well. The court acknowledges that the accused will defend himself in today's proceedings. I'm pretty sure he'd be a bit more confused by that, but hey-ho. Oh ho ho, I see. By renouncing his attorney, the accused is admitting his own crime. Objection! Do not misunderstand. The one who is most sure of his own innocence is simply the defendant himself. That's all. Isn't that right, defendant? Yeah, that's right. Sound more confident, eh? But if I'm being honest, this defendant is drawing a total blank on what to do next. First of all, do something about those shifty eyes of yours. Oh, just realised his name is Ouchie. Ouchie? Is it Ouchie or Uchi? Probably ouchie. Just a keep running joke. How dare a mere college student bother the Great Supreme Court with such a trite case? Surely I'm not the one who is outraged by this arrangement. As you gentlemen know, this is the Grand Bench of the Supreme Court. As such, we demand a trial befitting this courtroom, the pinnacle of our legal system. Defendant. Yes? I shall now gauge whether you are qualified to stand in this court. Ah, okay, and that means? In other words, the judge doubts that you have the ability to properly defend yourself. The joke's on him because the person with the most doubts is none other than myself. Now, I shall pose some simple questions to the defence regarding this case. Oh yeah, we've got a court record, haven't we? What we got? Oh no, that's the save button. Yes, Your Honour. First, what is the name of the victim in this murder? Answer promptly and clearly. Okay, I should know this one. I've heard it countless times since the incident. It's... Huh? Oh no, I'm so nervous, I can't remember. What was his name again? Naruhodo. I'm guessing you're drawing a total blank on this one, right? You're my best friend, alright? Don't worry, everything about the incident has been logged in the court record. Literally, court record. Ah, now we have the button. Go ahead and touch the court record button in the top right corner. Whoop! I'm pressing. I'm guessing I have to press that first. In there, you'll find everything you need. Even things you may have forgotten. Great, let's try tapping the court record button. Okay, now I can press it. Okay, school badge, proof that one is a student of Imperial Yumi University, always on school uniforms. Post-mortem, died after 2 PM, was shot in the chest and bled to death. Bullet did not pass through his body. Okay. Kazuma Asogi, second year student at Imperial Yumi University, has a great talent as a lawyer, despite just being a student, my best friend. Yujin Mikataba, professor, yep, for forensic medicine, and Asogi's medicine. I'm just reading through all these, making sure I've got everything in my mind. Takeshi Aochi. Or Taketsuchi Aochi. The prosecutor investigating this case, it appears he does not approve of what cultural enlightenment has done to society. Oh, he's one of those people, was it? Back in my day? John H. Watson. John Watson? Hey. The victim in this case, he was invited to come from the British Empire to the university. Medical doctor. So John H. Watson. All relevant pieces of information can be found in the court record. Anyone with the, who's used to the AC20 system knows that one. Now, we shouldn't keep his honour waiting. Present your answer to him. Choose the profile and present it to him. John H. Watson, and present. Hi! Yo, Kiwi and Appy. Welcome to the stream. Thought we'd definitely try something different, you know. Of course you would remember the name of the professor at your own university. Professor Watson was a medical doctor from the British Empire. 3 years ago he was invited to teach at the Imperial Yumi University. Or Yume. I honestly. And that is why we have such a tremendous debacle on our hands. The British Empire. A country with which the Empire of Japan wishes to remain strong diplomatic relationships. Recently, after lengthy negotiations, our two empires signed a new treaty. The Japanese-Anglo Treaty of Commerce and Navigation. Everyone knows about it. You knew that, and yet you still took the life of a Briton. What's more, you're students at Imperial Universities yourself. Hit that fan. Murdering a professor in an institution of learning? Have you no shame? Ugh, but I didn't do it. Due to the serious nature of this incident, we have drawn the attention of the British Empire. They have requested that the Supreme Court pass swift judgment in today's trial. In other words, our spineless government is bending over backwards to appease the Brits. You're just being used as a convenient scapegoat for that end. Is that what makes this trial so special? Exactly. Our country must find someone to punish as soon as possible. All because the victim is British. I mean, I'm British myself. I mean, if I got murdered in Japan, I'd hope someone would be found guilty. A British man named Professor John H. Watson. This has nothing to do with our countries or that treaty. I was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time. Oh, would you look at the time? I have to get going soon. I'll stay a bit longer. We came all this way after all. You're right. We rarely get the chance to visit a high-class establishment like this. Well then, take care. I'll see you in tomorrow's English lecture, partner. I am just in love with the aesthetic of this music. It is brilliant. Off to the British Empire, huh? What a guy. Oh. I've seen that man on campus before, I think. He's that professor from Britain. I never got his name though. Maybe I should go introduce myself. And so? I went to Professor Watson's table and introduced myself. Wonderful. Just gonna get myself a beverage. Here we go. That'll do me. Now, let us move on to the next question. Yes, Your Honour. How was Dr. John H. Watson robbed of his life? Present the cause of death to the Supreme Court. Professor Watson's cause of death? Of course, that would be... Make sure we got it right. Bullets. And he bled to death. Naruhodo. This is a court of law. Here we let the evidence speak for itself. The evidence? Quickly, present the piece of evidence showing the professor's cause of death. Easy peasy. Post-mortem. Hi! I just love the animations in this. It's just amazing. According to this thing... This thing? Thing. You know... I'm pretty sure it's called a post-mortem. It was blood loss from a gunshot wound, Your Honour. At least call it by its proper name. That thing is the post-mortem report. Yes, the post-mortem. In the West, for example, in the British Empire, corpses undergo what is called an autopsy. But in our country, police surgeons conduct a post-mortem examination instead. Right, now I get it. I don't get it at all. Allow me to present a photograph of the crime scene. Ooh. As you can see, there are gunpowder burns around the bullet hole, meaning the victim was shot at point-blank range. There is no other conclusion. I mean, it might have been put there. Get a bit of gunpowder on your finger, wipe it around. Nah, I'm doubting that would work. Very well, the court accepts this modern investigation tool as evidence. So literally a picture is called a modern evidence. Well, okay, photograph of the victim has been filed into the court record. Shows the victim, cause of death appears to be a gunshot from the chest from the front. Wow, so this is a photograph. It's my first time seeing one. It captures far more detail than you would expect from an illustration. Very well, you have proven yourself to the court. The questioning ends here. Now, let us proceed with the trial. Here we go. Understood, Your Honour. First, I would like to give an overview of the incident. I hereby summon a witness who was present at the scene of the crime. See you in a bit, Kiwi. Nice having you around. Oof. Oof. Here we go. I just realised what the professor had in mind. Professor Mikotaba, you mean? He knew that you'd be the one defending yourself in court. However, as long as I stand by your side, I can still offer you advice. Oh, that's true. Here's what Professor Mikotaba told me. Kazuma Asogi must not stand as a defense attorney in today's trial. Good grief. Yada yada, does he? Everything went exactly as the professor planned. Please lend me your wisdom, Asogi. You got it. For starters, do something about your shifty eyes and cold sweats. Only if you do something about your fluttery headband and cold gaze. Can't stop that warm breeze. Seriously. Oh, he looks like a waiter. Witness, please state your name and occupation to the court. Here we go, more Japanese pronunciations. Certainly, my name is Satoru Hosonaga. I am a waiter at La Cantos, a restaurant serving Western cuisine. Cough, cough. Oh, that's not good. Are you okay? There's blood dripping from your mouth. Oh, this is completely normal. There is nothing wrong with me. Completely normal. I'm not too sure about that. A few years ago, the southeastern corner of the capital was opened to foreign settlements. Now it has become a fashionable area lined with hotels catering to visitors from abroad. Now it has become a fashionable area lined with hotels catering to visitors from abroad. The crime occurred 3 days ago in that area, at a restaurant specialising in Western cuisine. Witness, please share everything you know to the court. He's clearly done the rite of frost. As you wish. Try not to interrupt this man's testimony, amateur attorney. I'm warning you. Okay. Yes, sir. It's not like I'm putting on airs, though. Ooh. Love the bells. It was just after 2 PM that day. We normally have a few patrons at that tower. After the lunch rush, only 3 groups of customers remained. Come to think of it, he's right. There weren't many customers at the time. Yep, the normal stuff. I was in the kitchen cleaning the utensils when suddenly... Gunshot. A gunshot rang out from the dining area. As I ran out in a panic, I saw it. I saw the British gentleman, the victim, slumped over in his chair. And there, standing next to him, was the defendant holding a pistol. Wait, please wait a second. Yes, I picked up the gun when I noticed it on the ground. But I swear I didn't fire it. Yay! Save your breath. I already warned you once. We're here to listen to the witness's testimony, not your outbursts, you amateur. Okay. But... The next time you interrupt, be prepared to suffer a penalty. Naruhodo, you will eventually get a chance to strike back. For now, listen to what this man has to say. Okay, witness, there is one thing I would like to confirm. You saw the accused standing next to the victim with a pistol in hand, correct? Certainly, that is correct. He's bleeding from the mouth again. Someone get him a doctor. Come on. I see. And apart from the accused, no one else was near the victim? Certainly not. Apart from the deceased British gentleman and the defendant, no one else was present. Huh? Wait. What did he just say? No one else was present near the victim. What's the matter, Naruhodo? That's not how I remember it. When I walked over to introduce myself to Professor Watson, there was a woman sitting in a chair across from him. What? There's no way the waiter missed that. They keep telling me not to interrupt, but I can I really just stand to watch this? I'm going to interrupt him. Hey! Give me just a moment to defend myself. Professor Watson wasn't sitting alone at the time. I'm certain there was a woman dining with him. My, what a troublemaker. This attorney will stop at nothing to interfere with the trial. He's little more than a fraud. I'm not even sure we can reasonably call the accused an attorney. But... Witness, are you sure that your memory is not flawed? Oh, glasses moving up? I certainly am. The British gentleman came to the restaurant by himself that day. But that's impossible. He's still coughing. I made sure to sketch the seating arrangement of our patrons on this right here. I implore you to check for yourself. I mean, I guess. This appears to be a sketch of the crime scene. Since it was an emergency situation, I resorted to using the back of my business card. As you can see, this shows the victim was alone at the time in question. But he didn't write down where. What first of all, he didn't write down where Naruhodo was or where Asogi was. He's only done Watson. That's the first thing that's coming to mind on that one. You flatter me, Your Honour. I request that you present that sketch to the court as evidence for the trial. Well. Is something wrong? Go on, hand it over. Certainly. As you wish. That's odd. He was pretty calm up until now. There's some... He's right, the waiter does seem to be trembling a bit. Business card. I'm betting there's something on the back. I'm just saying. Oh my god, stop coughing! Loud ass bitch! And so, that summarises what happened during the incident. When the gunshot rang out from the dining room, the only person near the victim was the accused. Why, it appears as though we'll all be leaving this trial early today. Defendant Ryunosuke Naruhodo? Yes, Your Honour. If you plead guilty now, the court is willing to recognise your plea as a mitigating factor. He means that your punishment may be reduced. Be aware that this witness was only here to provide a summary of the incident. But if you insist on prolonging this trial, then the prosecution will gladly summon a decisive witness to the stand. Hey, Asogi, what should I do? What are you talking about? Well, it sounds like I'm going to be declared guilty sooner or later. So I think it might be best if I just plead guilty right now. Oh, there's the glare. There's the glare. I mean, everyone's been talking about how special this trial is, right? You, Professor Mikataba? Heck, even the judge and the prosecutor. If the trial keeps going on like this, I'm scared of how it might end. Extend the trial, come on! I'm gonna continue fighting. As I said before the trial, I believe in you, Naruhodo. And now, in spite of that, you intend to betray my good faith? Huh? If the defendant is truly innocent, it's the defense attorney's duty to use any means necessary to prove so. You have a duty to defend yourself. Are you going to abandon your duty? Even worse, you'll give up the battle when it's only just begun. Ooh. Smack that. I love that face. That is just beautiful. Beautiful. Just gonna... Cool. The prosecution needs to stop stalling for time and just move on with the trial. Go ahead. Show us this so-called decisive witness. Okay. Very well. Prosecutor Aochi, continue as you were. Oh, how young and foolish you both are to not know your place in this court. They may call me a saint, but I'm now prepared to become a demon. Before long, I shall have your impudent little mouth sealed. Permanently. The prosecution will now call 2 witnesses to the stand. 2? 2? Now, bailiff, bring in the prosecutor's witnesses. 2? Are they borrowing? They're going to borrow from Professor Layton. Witnesses, please state your name and occupations to the court. Whoop. Yes, sir. I am a proud soldier of the British Empire, Sergeant Taozu Ukumaru, sir. God's sake. Taizo Izukumaru, sir. That's a very British name, I have to say. This one is but a humble peddler of time. An antiquary. All these words, they're messing with me. An antiquary. One who brings the imperial capital the essence of curios from bygone eras. Owner of the Hall of Discard Emporium, on the corner of the capital's second block. Okay. Oh, okay, sorry. I thought Empire and put British before it. Okay. Okay. Sanmon Sonohi Gurashi. I'm just going to go with that. I hope they're not going to make me repeat it so many times. He's in the Japanese army. Okay, okay. My bad on that one. My bad. Okay, an antique dealer and a soldier. What an odd combination. These 2 were also in the restaurant on the day of the incident, Your Honour. So this is the 3rd group of customers the waiter was referring to earlier. This one spends a brief time each afternoon enjoying an aromatic coffee at La Cantos. Oftentimes, this one also converses with connoisseurs interested in my treasures. I have no idea what he's saying. The old man owns an antique shop and appears to be a regular Lacantos. He tries to sell his antiques to any customers who look interested. Many affluent societies dine at that high-class Western establishment, after all. Oh, I see. But if I'm being honest, that soldier over there seems more interested in selling than buying. So the two of you witnessed the very moment this heinous crime unfolded. Is that correct?
Sir, yes, sir. Oh, the insolence of such an atrocity. No detail evaded this soldier's watchful eyes. Indeed, without a doubt, that pupil clad in sombre black fired the lethal round.
Nope, I can't understand this guy either. But putting that aside, I think I heard a strange sound just now. I see, these two are the so-called decisive witnesses. That soldier said he witnessed the very moment you shot the victim. Huh? So, are you having fun yet? Honestly, I'm not. Who would be? Who would be in this situation? Let's just be real on that one. Asogi, picture yourself in this moment, right now. You're in court. You're on trial for murder. You're defending yourself. You're asking me if I'm having fun. No. Honestly, I'm not. Now, let us hear your testimony.
Tell the court the truth of what you witnessed during the incident. As you wish, Sergeant Taizu Azukumaru, reporting for duty.
Alas, this one does not wish to recall the deplorable events of that afternoon. Witness testimony. Look at them both together. That's so cute.
I was at the restaurant chatting with the old man as I ate my beefsteak.
This one was boasting of a beautiful treasure enveloped in golden gleam.
And then, the flash of a gunshot. That moment was burned into my eyes. That black-clad student shot the British man. A sudden, cowardly shot from behind.
Behind? Behind? Meanwhile, this one crawled to the floor in search of a treasure gone missing. That means, Sergeant, you must have witnessed the crime in its entirety. Everything from when the accused took the pistol to when he shot the victim.
Indeed, the despicable culprit was that delinquent of a student over there.
Oh god, he's got a knife. Get down! To think you would fatally shoot an Englishman at such a sensitive juncture. Wait, that's not true. I didn't shoot anyone. You sure about that, Naruhodo? All I did was pick up the pistol from the floor. After introducing myself to Professor Watson, I went back to my table to finish the coffee. Then I decided to go home. As I made my way to the door, I saw a British-made pistol on the ground next to where the professor was sitting. I thought that he might have accidentally dropped it, so I picked it up. But just as I was about to hand it to him, bang! If that's really what happened, then the true culprit is still at large. And a clue to their identity rests within this testimony. Really? Well, I mean, come on. Quickly, Naruhodo. Assert your right to conduct cross-examination. Cross-examination? Stop questioning everything he says. Come on, there's no time to waste. Now then, as you just heard, Your Honour, this testimony has conclusively proven the accused's guilt. The time has come to pass judgment on this despicable university student. Indeed, there is no longer any room for doubt. Well then, the court hereby concludes... No! Come on. Putting his hand up. That's so cute. But what was that? And what is that unbearable awkward silence? No, the defense demands the right to conduct a cross-examination thing. He has a habit of calling things thing. Oh dear. What are you, a puppet? Are these your words, or those of the man next to you? He got me. The prosecution objects. This is clearly a ploy to waste everyone's time. One cannot expect such an inexperienced attorney to conduct a cross-examination. Regardless, the defense has every right to make such a demand. It's just cross-examination thing. Come on, you're a lawyer student. You should probably know that. His experience or lack thereof matters not. Gah. Asogi, that was amazing. I hereby grant the defense's request to conduct a cross-examination. Excellent. Now the real battle begins. Draw your weapon. No more games. We fight to the death. No, wait. Wrong game. But I have no idea what to do in a cross-examination. Well, good thing. Good thing to know. I do. It's simple. Expose their lies in their testimony. Huh? You didn't fire that pistol. Therefore, someone must be lying. But that makes sense. The key to the truth rests within the evidence. The evidence? To expose their lies, you must strike them with a decisive piece of evidence. Smack. Anyway, just try your best. Ace Attorney. Roll credits! Nah, let's carry on. Got it. Guess I have no choice but to go for it. And Ace Attorney in this situation is literally first. What we witnessed. Okay. I was at the restaurant chatting with the old man as I ate my beefsteak. This one was boasting of a beautiful treasure enveloped in a golden gleam. And then, the flash of a gunshot. That moment was burned into my eyes. That black-clad student shot the British man. A sudden cowardly shot from behind. Meanwhile, this one crawled to the floor in search of a treasure gone missing. Okay, so that's recapping what that is. What do I do now? Listen closely, Naruhodo. Next, you must expose the lies within their testimony. I see, but how exactly do I do that? Like I said, the key to the truth rests within the evidence. Okay. This is a long first case. Be prepared for 3 to 4 hours depending on your speed. Well, okay. I'm down for a 3 to 4 hour stream. Okay, carefully compare the evidence to the contents of their testimony. Yeah, I literally already called out that from behind. It's literally from the front. It literally says it in the autopsy report. I'm sure you'll find just some discrepancies in court. These are called contradictions. Contradictions? Once you find the evidence that contradicts their testimony, present it.
to put them out of their misery. Just kill them. Just, you know, end their suffering. However, if you blindly throw out unrelated evidence, you'll be penalised. Receive too many penalties, and the trial will end immediately with a guilty verdict. Got it? First, scrutinise the evidence. Then, find the contradictions in their testimony. Okay, yeah, we get it now. Come on. Go, 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 go. Fortunately, you can listen to their testimonies as many times as you like. Keep calm and hit him where it hurts, partner. Like, literally. I already said it earlier. Like, shot, no, I keep clicking incorrect. Present. I'm pretty sure the autopsy report says shot in the chest. Present. Woo! Hi. Dot, 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 dot. I mean, pretty sure in this situation you meant to say something. Got the sweats. Everyone is just silent. Come on. What in the world was that? Why are you suddenly shoving this scrap of paper in my face? I've now got the image of him just going up to him and just slapping him round the face with it. Just like, not today. It's a contradiction. Yeah. This must be one of those contradiction... Stop calling them things! This must be one of those contradiction things. Yeah, you know, this court thing, this autopsy report thing. Next, you'll be calling a witness thing. What, pray tell, is so contradictory about this document? You know, it's the desperation in his face. You can actually see it. Like with the original Ace Attorney, you could only sort of see like beads of sweat. You're actually seeing just his eyes just glaring, moving forward. Oh, ever since I saw the trailers originally a couple years back for this game, I thought, oh my god, absolutely brilliant. The animations, I'm already in love with it. Let us end the charade, Your Honour. Our Supreme Court has no room for an amateur, or for amateur attorneys like you. Ah, what a pain. Smack. Hold your horses. You can't be serious. Do you really need an explanation for something like this? This is the Supreme Court, for goodness' sake. Asogi? What did you say? What you say? Maybe if you just shut up and take a look at the post-mortem, you'd notice too. The sergeant's testimony contradicts the evidence. Huh? Sergeant Azukumaru. But what is it? During your testimony earlier, you said the following. That black-clad students shot the British man. A sudden, cowardly shot from behind. That's right, I swear by my own 2 eyes. I witnessed the very act. But that doesn't make any sense. What do you mean? But because, you know, because of the post-mortem thing. Hey Asogi, a little help please. It's clearly written in the post-mortem thing. A single shot to the chest from point-blank range. There was no exit wound. Compare that to the photograph of the scene, and the truth comes to light. The victim, Professor Watson, died after being shot in the chest.
I mean, that normally happens when you get shot in the chest, but moving on. Ah! Sergeant, according to your testimony, the victim was shot from behind. However, the fact remains that he was shot from the front. Explain yourself. I'm waiting. Oh, he's got a baby on the back. Oh. What the heck was that? I'm pretty sure it's a baby. Something tried to pop out of his back, but he pushed it back down. Indeed, this is an obvious contradiction. Care to explain, Sergeant Azukumaru? Yes, it's all coming back to me now. Oh, he's got an answer, has he? When the gunshot rang out, my eyes... Oh, look at him! Were actually fixed on Lacantos's signature beefsteak. Surely you jest. I mean, it's a gorgeous beefsteak. The sergeant's testimony now has just made one thing abundantly clear. This witness, Taizu Azukumaru, soldier of the Empire, did not see the moment in which the defendant supposedly fired the pistol. Darky Play says, sorry Roman, can't watch you today, but wish I could. Family and co at the house. Wish you fun though. No worries, Darky. Thank you for popping in at least. I'll be here probably all night actually, apparently, according to the translator. Translator says it's going to take about 3 or 4 hours to do this chapter. And I'm looking very forward to it. So you can hop in here and there if you want to. And I will certainly have fun. You have a good time. Say hi to your family. Okay. This is absurd. Come on, surely you understand. Smack. The Supreme Court has no room for amateur prosecutors like you. Damn! No. No! Brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. He flipped the mood of the courtroom with just a few words. Yeah, the translator says the first case is about 3 to 4 hours long, so I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, so this is the power of a defense attorney. But I really did see it. That cruel, merciless student pointed the pistol right at the victim's back. Even if I didn't fire the pistol. All I did was pick it up off the floor. Yeah, Kiwi, he's in the chat right now, actually. He's giving me a little bit of guidance as well with, like, how to pronounce names. Because I am absolutely terrible. Really terrible at pronouncing Japanese names. But he also helped me work out a few things with the patch, which makes it possible to actually read it in English. He's very, very nice, and like I say, the website for the translation patch is in the description if you want to check out the website, show a bit of support. Okay, old man, perhaps you witnessed something that could shed some light on this. Okay, it's on. I don't even want to say his name. Okay, my previous statement still stands. I crept under the table and heard a sharp gunshot shortly thereafter. Crept under the table? What were you doing down there? Searching for a lost item. What did you lose? Whoa! The Koban! The Koban! It's like, come on, man! You know, the Koban! A precious coin from the Hue... Is OU for the Japanese sort of just an O or A? So that... Because it's a Sogi, so I'm guessing Hoei era. When this one departed from Lacantos, for Lacantos, that invaluable item from my Hall of Discard was tucked away in my pocket. You brought it along in hopes of selling it to the highest bidder? correct? That day, this one presented the koban to the carnivorous soldier. He was my last hope, as no other patrons were willing to make a purchase. Thereupon, it vanished as soon as this one lost focus. The koban vanished? We have translation notes that explain what that is. Oh, I see. Is it an actual... So, it's an actual historical thing then. Nice. I'm getting better. I'm getting better at pronouncing them. A gunshot echoed through the restaurant. Isn't that right? Indeed. Nevertheless, this one resumed a search for the relic of the Hoei era. Every fibre of my being was in a frenzy. Like, okay, literally for a coin, or the koban, you hear a gunshot and possibly someone dying, and you're still searching for a coin. Wow. That must be a really, really, really valuable coin then. Or not, I don't know. By the way, did you ever find the koban? Alas, this one did not. Interesting. On that day, this one carelessly misplaced that fine Hoei koban. Or perhaps it was stolen by some unscrupulous individual. Oh, so there's going to be some beef. There's going to be beef between them. Pun intended, obviously. Okay, as you're all aware, time is of the essence in today's proceedings. Our government must report back to the British Empire by this afternoon. But the latest testimony is far from conclusive, no matter how far our government is willing to bow down to the Brits. I cannot allow your honour to pass a verdict just yet. What say you, Prosecutor Ouchi? Ouchi? Rest assured, Your Honour. Uh-oh. These witnesses still have more to testify about. Could you elaborate? Oh, trust me, it will all become clear with the next testimony, Your Honour. Let's just say there is only one person who could be the murderer. And there's none other than the accursed student, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. What? Looks like you've incurred his wrath. Wrath of the demon, obviously. Very well. The court shall ask both witnesses to retake the stand. This time, you must establish a firm basis for the defendant's guilt. Understood? This one vows to make every word count. Affirmative, Sergeant Taizo Okumaru, reporting for duty once again. Is he a babysitter or something? Am I missing something? Sir, there's someone peeking out from behind you. Everyone, meet the Uzukumaru's family's last hope, Kurumaru. Oh, really? Kurumaru Uzukumaru. Why is he last hope? Guess he couldn't afford a babysitter. Take a good look, my dear son. Father is about to thwart evil right this instant. Watch close. Oh my god. The animations, I love them. I love this game already. I love it. Father is about to thwart evil right this instant. Watch closely, son. Witness testimony, identifying the true culprit. Even if I didn't see the exact moment the bullet was fired, it doesn't change a thing. This one remembers it well. The boy in black indeed took aim at the British gentleman. What's more, there were no other customers in the restaurant beside us. Indeed, the British gentleman had been quietly enjoying his food in solitude. I repeat, no one could have shot him but that wicked boy. End of report. We'll probably have to press some of those statements. Okay. Straight in. Wait, that's impossible. Professor Watson wasn't alone at the time. Restrain yourself, defendant. I'm telling you, there was a young woman sitting with him. There's absolutely no way you could have missed her. If you dare call yourself an attorney, then speak in accordance with the law. This is no place to be spewing nonsense. Yeah. Make no mistake, the victim was alone at the time of the incident. The proof is in this photograph. This is a photograph of the crime scene, I presume. Oh, there's the beefsteak. Or is that the victim's beefsteak? Yes, Your Honour. This shot of the victim's table was captured by the investigators. As you can see, there is only a single serving of food on the table. True, as far as this photograph is concerned. The victim had no company. It's the only natural conclusion. Damn it! How can this be? I hereby order that photograph be submitted to the court as evidence. Crime scene photo has been filed into the court record. I actually need to look through the court record because there's been a lot put in. No. What in the world is going on? How could they have not seen her? The waiter corroborated their testimony earlier. He too claimed that Professor Watson arrived at the restaurant by himself. Well, they're all wrong. I saw her. I swear I did. It seems that our telegraph to the British Empire can be delivered on schedule. After all, there were no contradictions of any kind in the latest testimony. Our treaty with Britain is still in its infancy. These are delicate times. I'm honoured to have played a role in advancing friendly relations between our two empires. All head and hands. Everything's looking bleak. Is this really happening? Is this trial really going to end just like that? Shut up, Naruhodo. It's not over yet. Cross-examination. If what you say is true, then there's no more to this case than there is more to this case that meets the eye. So, what are you waiting for? Time for another cross-examination. Asogi. The defense may now cross-examine the witness, but be quick about it. Understood. Know this. These courtroom procedures are merely delaying the inevitable. Ugh. Identifying the true culprit. Here we go. Even if I didn't see the exact moment the bullet was fired, it doesn't change a thing. Let's press. No, that's not the same thing. After all, it wasn't me who shot him. That's the difference in perspective between a student and a soldier. I don't know about that. Defendant, think of it this way. Just now, I closed my eyes. Okay. Did you witness that very moment? No, of course not. However, it's still a fact that I indeed did close my eyes. And that is how it works. Is that really how it works? Ugh. Regardless, the very next moment after the gunshot entered my ears, you were aiming your pistol at that British gentleman. That pretty much explains the entire situation, does it not? Not only that, but our other witnesses saw the very same thing. Isn't that right, antique dealer? I like how he says antique dealer because he can't be bothered to pronounce his full name. Because I for sure can't. Thank you for dropping in, Jeremiah. Pleasure to have you. Maybe you can pop in a bit later, who knows, but have a great new year. Okay, this one remembers it well. The boy in black indeed took aim at the British gentleman. Press. It's true that I was holding the gun at that moment, but I just picked it up from the ground, I swear. That's exactly what a criminal would say. If I had finished my coffee, I was about to leave the restaurant. Well, after I had finished my coffee, I was about to leave the restaurant and I saw a gun on the floor next to Professor Watson. So I picked it up. And then bang! So he picked it up and then went off. That's odd. A gunshot rang out through the restaurant. I suppose life never really goes the way you want it to. Huh? What do you mean? You entered this debacle simply by retrieving a lost gun. I, on the other hand... Oh, there's a knife. I was unable to find my Koban, and thus became entrapped in this debacle myself. Regardless, boy, I definitely did see you. You were holding that pistol and standing next to the British gentleman. What's more, there were no other customers in the restaurant besides us. I'm telling you, there was a woman dining with Professor Watson. You've been spewing nonsense since the beginning of this trial. According to the witnesses, this woman only exists in your imagination. Gah. If there had been more people there, I'm sure someone would have seen her. The events took place after 2 PM, meaning it was during the gap between lunch and dinner. That's why there weren't many customers at the time then. Yes, 2 o'clock in the afternoon is certainly an unorthodox time to have a meal. Perhaps the victim had some sort of reason to dine at Lecantos during that time. Yes, about that. It seems he did have a good reason, Your Honour. Huh? Okay, is there going to be some evidence or new testimony? This was found in the victim's breast pocket. What exactly might that item be? It appears to be a medical report, Your Honour. Before the victim went to the restaurant, he had seen a doctor. Hotter Clinic. Or Hotter? Hotter? Probably Hotter. Yes, even the date and time are listed here. 19th of November, from noon to an estimated 1 hour later. That's right before the crime was committed. Clearly, the victim went to have a late lunch after his examination. It has no bearing whatsoever on the crime, so it didn't seem necessary to report this. What do you make of this, Naruhodo? Me? Well, yeah, I don't think this is very important either. There's always a chance, no matter how slim, that we might find some use for this evidence. Should I request a copy of Professor Watson's medical report? Of course! Yeah, more evidence the better. May we have a medical report as evidence? For what? We now have decisive testimony. There's no need for further evidence. After all, the victim's actions before the crime have no relevance in the least. Objection. You're not the sole judge of what is or what isn't relevant, prosecutor. You... By right, your will alone does not suffice to deny our legitimate request. Very well. The court approves this defence's request. You youngsters and your rights. Is this really what the new generation has in store? My word. Back in my day. The court orders you to submit the victim's medical report. The medical report has been filed into the court record. I'll have a look at that in a moment, see if there's any fine details. Okay, where is it? Where is it? Oh, here. Can I check it? No? No? Okay, fine. Sure. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I love that. So what does it say? ACANOS. Akanos. I'm trying to read it upside down. It's not easy. Akanos H. Orion. Oh wait, yep, I read that. I'm just having a bit of fun here. What does that say? N? I'm trying to see if there's anything decent on here. I mean, they're probably going to turn it over in a little bit, but I'm getting ahead of the curve. There's a flower there. Is that an E? No, no. I'm seeing office, but that is not office. Either way, let's get back to it. We're wasting time. Okay, right now we desperately need a new lead. Though this evidence may seem irrelevant at first glance, we can't overlook its potential. Yeah, I know. You will come to realise how futile it is to prolong this trial. After all, the testimony has painted a clear picture. How do you see it, antique dealer? Indeed, the British gentleman had been quietly enjoying his food in solitude. So you're saying what you saw? You saw Professor Watson eating alone at his table? ... Yes, I did. Unfortunately for you. Or savage. The shop owner, the soldier, and the waiter have all testified to that fact. Furthermore, there exists evidence that clearly shows this. As you can see, there is only one serving of beefsteak on the table. Only one person was eating there. No. Silence, lovely. The owner of the antique store, the army sergeant, and the waiter. It's not impossible that all of them are liars. But what reason would there be for all of them to lie about this? Honestly speaking, I don't have a clue. I repeat, no one could have shot him but that wicked boy. End of report. Why wouldn't you just tell the truth? What did you just say? At the time, there was a woman sitting opposite Professor Watson. If it was just one witness saying Watson was alone, then maybe they just didn't notice. But for two of them to claim they didn't see her, something must be wrong here. Unfortunately, it's not just for two of them. What? The waiter said the exact same thing. He claimed that the victim was alone. That's right. In other words, you are the only one who insists on the existence of this phantom woman. But if that woman was indeed there, then you'll have to prove it. Okay. If you won't, then I never want to hear about this phantom woman again. You're only wasting our time right now. I don't know how to respond to that. Dot 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 dot. Okay. Great job, Naruto. That's one new piece of evidence, or piece of information in the bag. Yeah, but I don't think we made any real progress. I still can't find a decent contradiction. You sure about that? Here, show me that medical report you just got. Oh, you mean this? We went through all our trouble to get our hands on this. It'd be wise to examine it more closely. Okay, how exactly do I do that? I thought I was trying to check it earlier. Oh, now we got the details button. There's an option to check the details. Touch that and you'll be able to closely inspect the evidence. And I can move around and turn it around. You can then use your finger to rotate the evidence. I'm using a mouse at the moment. That way, you can view it from multiple angles. Furthermore, by touching any point on the screen, you can maneuver the cursor to help you see if there are any clues. When the cursor reacts, go ahead and touch examine. Alright, Naruto. Let's see what we can glean from this new medical report. Yeah, you got it. Let's do this. There we go. I'm coming back. There we go. We've still got 10 viewers in the chat. That's brilliant. Okay, rotate the evidence and use the cursor, huh? I'll try investigating anything that stands out. Ooh. Got a brownie. Lovely. Ooh. There doesn't seem to be anything out of the ordinary here. Ooh, something. The medical report looks like it was first issued a pretty long time ago. I think it's a personal medical record. His treatment must have been ongoing. That would have been impossible for me. I'd never go to a doctor, even if I was dead. You can't visit... You can't visit a doctor if you're dead. Do you really hate doctors that much? Well, they inject you with painful needles and make you drink disgusting medicine. What a child! This guy, oh my god. This is... I mean, actually, thinking about it now, he definitely is Phoenix Wright's ancestor. Here we go. On top of that, they charge you for it. I'm dying here and they expect to be paid. I bet you cause doctors a lot of trouble with that attitude. I should soak your hard head in some of that disgusting medicine for a while. Okay. Let's open this bad boy up. These appear to be doctor's notes. There's an entry written here from the day the incident occurred. Prepared anesthesia, tooth extraction. Extraction? That's when they pull the tooth out, right? Before the incident, it appears Professor Watson was suffering from a toothache. The dentists in Europe use laughing gas these days. I wonder if they used that. I read about it. They say it makes you go numb. Supposedly, it makes it so you won't feel pain, but I find that hard to believe. There are some precautionary notes written by the doctor. Due to residual laughing gas, consumption of anything but water is strictly prohibited for 3 hours after treatment. So he couldn't have been eating. It might help us to keep this information in mind. With the new information we have now, the meaning of that testimony has completely changed. You're onto something, aren't you? Let's listen to the testimony one more time. This one remembers it well. Yep. What's more, there were no customers in the restaurant beside us. Time to present the evidence. Iggy. Oh no, just a hi. Hi. The music stopped, so that's always a good sign. So, in other words, what is it? Are you unable to quit your grunting long enough to speak like a proper attorney? I'm a defendant before an attorney, sir. Getting tongue-tied is normal. Don't beat yourself up about it. Asogi. Watching your cross-examination revealed one thing to me with perfect clarity. When you raise that hand of yours, you already hold a thought in your mind that you absolutely intend to say. There's no need to agonize over every word. Just speak your mind freely. Understood. I'll try doing that. Witness, this is a victim's medical report. Oh ho ho. What's your point, youngling? According to this, I believe... I like how it's a slap, not a slam. Huh? But there's something off about your testimony. Oh dear, did you forget what I told you? What you told me? Amateurs like you shouldn't interrupt. Seal your lips and keep quiet. Huh? This is the truth of the matter. The victim was murdered at a restaurant sometime after 2 PM. Whatever he might have been doing before that time is completely irrelevant. That's not... Naruto, there is no need to agonize over every word. Just speak your mind freely. Use the force. Your Honor, at this point, there is no need for further deliberation. After all, the testimony just now has made everything perfectly clear. The medical report is irrelevant to the case at hand. As for why, it is because this little university student is... So, you're saying this medical report is completely unrelated? Do you really think so? What brought on this sudden change? Don't scare me like that. There's nothing to think about. Common sense dictates that it is unrelated. Even if you knew that the Hotter Clinic is in fact a dental clinic? Dental clinic? That doesn't change anything. Even if, in that dental clinic, the victim had undergone a tooth extraction. But, what? And, not to mention, due to the treatment, the victim was prohibited from consuming any solid food as well. Ooh, everyone's surprised. Wait, hold on a moment, boy. What are you getting at? Prohibited from consuming any solid food? What are you rambling on about? Every detail of what I've said is written right here. Any consumption of solid food is strictly prohibited for 3 hours after treatment. No, that's absurd. Sir. What is it? It is just as I have said. At the time of the incident, shortly after 2 p.m., the victim couldn't possibly have been eating anything. This can't be. Additionally, why are you staring at me? You have claimed it yourself countless times, that the victim was enjoying his meal, alone. However, that claim does not hold up. Because the victim had just undergone a tooth extraction and could not eat solid food. Ah. Well said, partner. Oh, what a stare. What are you getting at, you brat? Your counterattack is meaningless. Just look. Look at the photograph closely. Clearly, the victim's beefsteak is present on the table. Fool. You still haven't realised it. That in itself is the contradiction. Just now, the situation has undergone a complete turnabout. Isn't that right, Naruhodo? Hmm? Oh, of course. Indeed. The victim couldn't consume any solid food because he had just undergone tooth extraction. If that's true, then it only brings up another question. Just who exactly was eating this beefsteak? The court demands an explanation, defense. Understood? Yes, you're referring to me. Listen up. The real fight begins once you give the judge your answer. Show me what you can do. It's time for the great turnabout to begin. Understood. The only person who could have eaten this beefsteak is me. I want to say me just for the reaction. Me. Maybe it was me. The great Maybe it was me, the great Yunosuke Naruto, all along. What? Snatching a man's cut of meat, stealing a bite, and then killing him. Oh. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Oh, Fire Emblem Heroes just decided to turn on. Whoops. There's a limit to what you can get away with, you know. There's also a limit to saying whatever you can get away with, Naruto. Right, I didn't eat it. If you keep spouting nonsense, the next thing you eat will be my iron fist. Eat it! Word is, it's got a nice chewy consistency. I see, the only person who could have eaten this beefsteak is someone else. Okay, come on. I had to. I had to. Don't waste my breath. No such person exists. Don't make me waste my. Don't make me waste mine. There was another person there. At the time of the incident, the victim was in no condition to be eating solid food, and yet there was a half-eaten beefsteak on his table. Therefore, there must have been someone else there. It's the only natural explanation. As long as this contradiction goes unsolved, we can't trust an ounce of this pair's testimony. And if you dare keep trying to force the trial to proceed in your favour, then I will report this to the Ministry of Justice. No stone will remain unturned. Asogi, you little Do you think that you can take on the judicial system of the Japanese Empire? You are not my enemy today. What? My enemies are these two witnesses. How dare you? What do you mean by that? As this evidence clearly shows, the victim could not have been alone. Didn't your parents teach you not to lie in court? I sincerely hope you're prepared to be charged with perjury. Perjury? Furthermore, this is a murder trial. Being found guilty of perjury would imply that you are accomplices to the murder. Murder? No! No! Hold it. Preposterous! I know nothing about any of that! I am simply carrying out the orders I received to testify in court. Indeed, that is the truth. We're ordered to testify that the young lady was never at the crime scene. I'm holding my breath. Oh. What was that? Witness, could you repeat that? Well, you see, you were ordered to say that. Now, hold on, that was... You were told to testify that the young lady was never at the crime scene. This lady you refer to... She is a foreign woman, I take it. What is going on here? You're claiming that these witnesses are committing perjury? Is that true? Answer me at once. It was just... I just a slip of a tongue! Order, order, order. Someone please tell me what's going on here. I knew it. You ordered these witnesses to lie about what they saw. The prosecution was unaware of this as well. Then, who did it? That's... I'll never tell. Oh, he's tugging on his mustache. Then you don't care if you're indicted as an accessory to murder? This is preposterous. Naruhodo. It appears that these two witnesses have been silenced by the fear of some great influence beyond their own. And what's more, our prosecutor there had absolutely no knowledge of this. Seriously? But who would have that kind of influence? It could have been the government, the military, or even police. Well, Naruhodo, do you have any idea who may have been ordered them to alter their testimonies? If you can identify who this individual is, then we can demand their presence in court. So I need to identify the person who ordered them to change their testimony. Obviously, we need to find some kind of evidence that would allow us to do so. Evidence that would prove the influence of a powerful third party. I'm really details. Victim John H. Watson, male British, time of death, cause of death. Okay, need to find that diagram. There we go. Keep flipping. There we go. We got it. Imperial Police, Satoru Hosonaga. First Squadron Investigation Leader Detective. This is rather odd. What's wrong, Sugi? The name of witness is written down here, Satoru Hasanaga. Well, obviously, it's a business card after all. The name is not the problem, it's the title. The title? Oh! Imperial Police. First Squadron Investigation Leader Detective. Satoru Hasanaga. Detective? What in the world is going on? I have no idea. If he has the authority of a police officer, he may be capable of coercion. I knew it. Okay. I knew it. Evidence has the power as a third party. Evidence? There's no way. Well, we just did. Literally, right now. Hold on, Naruto. Well, remember what happened earlier? Earlier, we examined this piece of evidence and found a new lead, didn't we? Yeah, we just... Okay, maybe I jumped the gun a bit. We have other evidence in our arsenal as well. We might be able to find some other hidden... Examine the rest of them. Okay, yeah, we've just done that. There's no time to waste. Well, if either of you have fabricated your testimony, you'll be found guilty of perjury. But please wait just a moment, Your Honour. This humble prosecutor, Aochi, swears to the heavens and the earth that he was not aware of this. I swear. Then defendant. No, attorney. What are your current thoughts? Sir! I can't do this. I don't have any time to gather my thoughts. I'll just have to close my eyes and yell out the first name that comes to mind. Other than the prosecutor, someone who might have the influence to pressure them is... Satoru Hasanaga. Might the name of this person be Satoru Hasanaga? Hasanaga? You mean the waiter? That's complete and utter nonsense. Why would a waiter need to silence these witnesses? And moreover, a waiter definitely does not have that level of influence. What you say is true. In fact, a waiter would be the least suspicious person. But what if he wasn't really a waiter? Pardon me? Where are you going with this? Go on, Naruhodo. Counter him with evidence before you can say another word. The evidence that points towards Satoru Hasanaga's true identity is his business card! Ooh. This is a sketch of the crime scene drawn by the waiter. Certainly he is a resourceful head waiter, but... No, Your Honour. That's only the back of the card. The important part is the evidence written on the back of the back. The back of the back? The back of the back? Huh? Excuse me. The front. I mean... yes, that's it. In other words, the important part is the front of the back. Come on. Really? He's getting his directions. Can someone translate that into something less incomprehensible, please? Allow me. Satoru Hasanaga drew this sketch on the back of his business card. And as we all know, a business card indicates the identity of its owner. Dandy System XLI, the Captain family. It is a fan translation. I've put in the description where the fan translation can be found, should you want to play it yourself, because I'm still going blind on this. It's made by the wonderful people down at the Scarlet Study. They're doing amazing work, and I support them fully on that one. Be aware, if you want to play the translation, you will have to purchase the original game. This is done on the Android version. I've bought it off a Japanese store. They've got a tutorial on how to purchase the original game on the App Store, on the Japanese App Store, should you need to find it. Okay, the waiter's identity then. Oh! I see you figured it out, Your Honour. Imperial Police, First Squadron Investigation Leader Detective, Satoru Hasanaga. What in blazes? That waiter is a detective from the Imperial Police? Aochi was not told about this. The Imperial Police holds absolute, even overwhelmingly, overwhelming authority over common citizens. Witnesses. Were you ordered to fabricate your testimony by this so-called waiter? Were you told to hide the fact you witnessed the presence of a young lady that day? Well... Hold it! There he is. Detective Hasanaga. To be honest, I knew this would happen. I knew at the moment I was ordered to hand over that sketch. I request that you present that sketch to the court as evidence for the trial. Well... Is something wrong? Go on, hand it over. Certainly, as you wish. Come to think of it, he was pretty hesitant when he was told to hand over his card. If you plan to investigate, do it to the utmost perfection. That is my motto. But here I am using my business card of all things to make a sketch. It was quite the blunder. But then, you really are a detective? But why would a detective of the Imperial Police be employed at a Western restaurant? Oh, maybe a detective's salary is not... I was conducting an undercover investigation. An undercover investigation? Recently, there has been a string of incidents at that restaurant. In order to investigate, I took on the role of a waiter and infiltrated the establishment. A string of incidents? What kind of incidents exactly? Were you really getting bad frames dropped there, mate? I sadly can't check myself because this is running from my phone. Can anybody else confirm that the stream's okay or not? I won't go any further unless we sort of have any sort of confirmation on that one. I like to make sure that everyone's receiving a good stream. Okay, I'll continue then. Okay, I can only say it's unrelated to the murder of the incident at hand. Very well then, Detective Hasanaga. Allow me to confirm one thing though. What would that be, Your Honor? Earlier, these witnesses revealed new facts important to this trial. During the incident, it seems that there was another person at the victim's table. If that is the truth, then, as their waiter, you already knew that. And yet, not only have you avoided testifying to that fact, you even used your influence as a detective to silence these witnesses. Do you have a rebuttal to offer? Cough cough. Looking like Fjorm. I do not. But? Then we were right. Bang! I heard the sound of a gunshot and ran out from the kitchen post-haste. What I saw then, first the lifeless victim, then the university student standing beside him, firearm in hand, and also someone else sitting on the other side of a table, a British woman, I believe. We're right again. I immediately had the restaurant blockaded and I reported the incident to police. At that time I received a set of special orders from police headquarters. Special orders? Could they possibly be? Release the British woman from the scene of the crime immediately. I was also to conceal anything that implied the British woman was ever there. Those were the absolute, undefiable commands issued to me from my superiors. But if that British woman had been the real murderer, I do believe it would be in your best interest to refrain from finishing that statement. Maintaining good relations with the British Empire is one of our top priorities. A British man has been killed, and now you want to convict a British lady of his murder. Unless your case is watertight, we cannot afford to risk damaging relations like this. So that's the reason for the disappearance of this phantom woman. It can't be. Everyone's in complete silence. Ooh. Well, let's keep going. There is one thing that comes to mind. Asogi? Imperial Yume University receives exchange students from the Great British Empire. Currently, there is a British exchange student in one of our medical research programs. And as I recall, the student is a young woman. Seriously? You're an excellent student attorney, I see. You are truly worthy of being chosen as our Empire's law exchange student to Britain. So that means, after sending the British woman home from the crime scene, for the sake of a thorough investigation, I then performed a background check. If all this is true, you would do well to state her name to the court. The British lady who dined with the professor. Her name is Miss Giselle Brett. She is an exchange student at Imperial Yume and a member of the victim's research team. What? What? My superiors ordered me to hide her presence at the scene. As such, I coerced these men to falsify their testimony. I freely admit to the crime. I shall leave the rest in your Honour's capable hands. So are we going to call this woman to the scene? Or to the court? I hope so. Very well. The court shall now state its opinion on the matter. So far, this trial has been conducted under one major assumption. We assumed that the victim was sitting alone at the time of the incident. However, that assumption has now been discredited. The court cannot ignore the fact of the matter. I will not hand down a verdict based on lies. Your Honour, that would mean the telegram will not be sent to the British Empire until later this afternoon. The government would object if that were to. Please restrain yourself, Prosecutor Ouchie. The trials of the Supreme Court are not to be swayed by the government's influence. Detective Hosonaga. Yes? Please issue a summons for Miss Giselle Brett. As you command. Detective, doing so would defy the special orders you were given. I believe I made the same statement earlier. If you plan to investigate, do it to the utmost perfection. That is my motto. Detective, won't this hurt your reputation? Oh my god, he's coughing. Bring it on, I say. He's feisty. I already like him. This trial should adjourn for a short recess. I hereby order that the exchange student Miss Giselle Brett be summoned to this court. Understood? Yes. Sir. Very good. The court will now take a 30-minute recess. To be continued. Ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. This is getting tasty. I gotta take a sip. Save? Yes, please. Save there. I want that there. Save here. Go, go, go. There we go. So, Miss Giselle Brett. Miss Giselle Brett. Sounds hot. So, how's everyone enjoying the stream so far? I'm trying to add a little bit of voices for my voice ain't too cool, shall we say. Okay. 11:38 AM. It's been it's been 2.5 hours since the start of the court proceedings. Oddly enough, that's nearly how long we've been streaming. Okay, well done, Naruto. That was fantastic. I don't even feel like I'm still alive. Still, I can't believe it. Just look at you. Flushed in sweat, legs trembling, eyes wandering, teeth clenched. And even in that sorry state, you were still able to seize the truth. I think you might actually be well suited for this line of work. Please, no. I think I've been put through enough of this horror for a lifetime. In any case, we've finally dragged her out. The Phantom Woman is coming to the stand. Lady Giselle Brett, an exchange student from the Great British Empire, right? Yes, see, that's what I was saying from the very beginning. At the time of the incident, Professor Watson wasn't alone. A young woman was with him. Well, yes, you did say that. One thing I do have confidence is my own observational skills, you know. Right. By the way, speaking of that lady, the detective's interference let her get away in the chaos. But, are you telling me that you didn't see any of that happen? No, I didn't. When I was about to leave a restaurant, I saw that pistol near Watson. It was just lying there on the floor, so I picked it up, and then the shot happened. I had no time to figure out where the gunshot had come from. Thanks to that waiter suddenly charging at me with a very angry expression on his face, he grabbed hold of me and forcefully led me to the kitchen's back room. Sounds like a pretty tactful arrest, just what I'd expect from a good detective. After that, as far as what happened at the crime scene, I have absolutely no idea. Hello again. That was a splendid job so far, both of you. Ah! Oh, Professor Mikatawa. It appears I was right about my hunch. The two of you make a good combination. Performed far better than I anticipated. I knew it. You set this whole thing up, didn't you, Professor? You schemed to take me off Naruto's defense. This country is still young. Its legal system is even younger. As such, we can't underestimate the worth of letting our students experience the world. I did not want your exchange trip to be suspended, so I intervened. But still, what good would I be if I can't even save my best friend? I'd be a pathetic man. And so, if I cannot save him, I will resign from the exchange trip myself. Do you realise what you're saying? I'm not surprised. I thought you might say that. Asogi. So, everything comes down to you then. Oh, they're all looking at me. Me, sir? Prove your own innocence, and expose the truth behind this murder. I would love to learn what really happened. After all, I can't say I'm completely unaffected by this incident. Come to think of it, Professor Mikataba mentioned that earlier, didn't he? Professor, could it be that you were acquainted with the victim? Well, yes, I was. The one who formerly invited the late John H. Watson to teach here as a professor was none other than me. Huh? Really? I didn't know that either. Well, whatever the case may be, this is going to be a showdown. The murder victim was a professor from Britain, one whose name holds great sway. Our government wishes to convict a criminal as soon as time permits. And adding to that headache, the opponent we're about to face is someone the Imperial Police did their best to hide. A British student, and a lady at that. I imagine the prosecutor will corner you by twisting all those influences in their favour. But I know you two are ready to fight to the bitter end. Make sure you win this trial. Yes, sir. Oh, yes, that reminds me. I would like you to return to university immediately. We may need some insurance. Understood. I will return at once. Kazuma, I wish you luck. Defendant. Recess is about to end. Return to the courtroom immediately. It's time. I'm counting on you, partner. Let's cut these old fools' brittle claims to pieces. Holding his blade, you know. Hey, Asogi? What is it? Thank you so much. For what? We're partners here, so there's no need to be like that. If you hadn't placed your faith in me, I'm sure I would have been found guilty a long time ago. I have faith in the man I know you to be. As an attorney and as a friend. Sogi. If I'm ultimately declared guilty in this trial, Asogi really will step down from the exchange trip. That's the kind of guy he is. The battle ahead doesn't just affect me. No matter who the opponent may be, I can't afford to lose. This theme is just beautiful. I love the theme as well. I love the aesthetic of all the music as well. Down to the defendant's themes. We're probably going to get a villain theme next. I'll save my gratitude for after the trial. Just be ready to treat me to the usual beef hot pot at the cafeteria when we're done here. An extra large serving, of course. Oh, he's so nice. I love him. (22nd of November). Oh, so we're now at the 12th hour. Supreme Court, courtroom number 2. The court will now resume the trial of Rinosuke Naruhodo. Prosecutor Ouchi, what's the situation regarding the new witness? It went well, Your Honour. The summons was somehow successful. Now, because of a certain boy, our government is pressed to devise a response to Britain. But, well, sorry. Corresponding in a timely manner is the government's job. I fail to see the problem. The problem is, thanks to this uproar, our relation with Britain has likely worsened. Are you trying to break the treaty and doom the Japanese Empire to a future of mediocrity? I'm very sorry. A treaty formed with an easily angered empire isn't worth the paper it's written on. I still fail to see the problem. What? A secret trial to appease a foreign government, careless investigation, hiding a witness. We pay lip service by calling that justice. Which empire does this court really belong to? Silence! Know your place, student! You children understand nothing. Our empire is in a precarious position, I'll have you know. We grow so we may stand among the powers. These times call for profound political strategy. Broadening our horizons to Britain and beyond will forge the future for our empire. A bit awkward. I'm just an ordinary student and I don't know much about politics or anything, but standing here in the Supreme Court, I can feel the truth of Vasugi's words. An empire without justice couldn't possibly have a future. That's what I think. Well said, Naruhodo. Darting eyes aside... Damn you. Very well then. Supreme Court is our empire's highest bastion of law. It exists for the sake of justice. This court now orders you all to resume the trial. Call the next witness. The exchange student from the British Empire, Miss Giselle Brett, must take the stand. Yes. Yes, Your Honour! Oh god, he smacked his head there. That must have hurt. Probably lost a couple of brain cells. Oh, look at that. Look at that hat. Is that a proper swan? I hope it's a proper swan. Leave some funny animations. Oh, greetings, greetings. You must have enjoyed quite the journey. Welcome to Japan. Someone, fetch some tea, quickly. A British greeting always starts and ends with a black tea. No, it doesn't. Please, come on. Is that true? Don't know. Don't care. Sassy. Ahem. Now, witness. Would you please grace us with your name and occupation? Yes, sir. My name is Satoru Hosonaga. I'm currently working as a waiter at Lacantos as part of an... Shut up, I'm not asking you! Whoa! Ladies first, a proper British greeting always starts and ends with the lady. Is that true? Don't know. Don't care. More importantly though, you said this earlier. One thing I do have confidence in is my own observational skills, right? Oh, yeah, I think I did say that. Yet when you described her, all you said was that she was a young woman. Was that really all you could come up with? You might be blinder than a bat, Naruhodo. I have no rebuttal. Anyway, let us start over. Witness, your name and occupation, if you please. Okay, I have to put on a good woman's voice. How do you pronounce that? So that's the nah, I got nothing. Anybody? No? Well, that doesn't look like British. Doesn't look like English either. Oh, lady? Pardon my rudeness, but, what did you just say? That does not look like English at all. Oh, it's the Queen's English. It's the Queen's English. She says her name is Giselle Brett. She hails from London. God, can't even speak proper British. Oh, God. Okay. Wonderful. She says her name is Giselle Brett. She hails from London. At present, she is a research exchange student in Imperial Yumei's medical program. Oh, your English words carry such surprising richness to my ears, milady. Even if I cannot understand what you speak, I will follow the beauty of your voice. From what I can hear, we can trust the detective to translate her testimony accurately. Oh, that's right. Amazing work, Asogi. Your preparation for the exchange trip really came in handy. You as well, Naruhodo. It seems that your time in the English department is not just for show. Wait, so if I can understand... What the... well... If Naruhodo can understand it, why are we seeing the handwriting rather than... okay, now then, noble witness. We are very sorry for asking this of you, but we would like for you to testify. 3 days ago, at the scene of a terrible murder at Lacantos, you were sitting at the same dining table as the late Professor Watson. Is that correct? I'm trying to see if I can translate that just by reading what the question was. Yeah, it was cool, yeah. She says... all that just to say yes. What? I'm losing it. I'm just... okay. This is going to get annoying fast. This woman, this exchange student doesn't even know our tongue. It's just gibberish. Don't bother. Okay, yeah. That's cool. That's cool. She says she had to leave the scene due to an emergency. She deeply apologises. She had no option to leave due to an important appointment at the university. Some cheek you have for someone who personally allowed her to escape. I was simply following the special orders issued to me from police headquarters. Do excuse me, my lady, but would you kindly take a look at this photograph? When the incident occurred, you were unfortunately at the scene of the crime. That means you might have seen the moment of the crime with those beautiful eyes of yours. She says, it was a most frightful and sad spectacle to behold. Then she did see it. Yes, Your Honour. It seems she indeed witnessed the crime unfold. The defendant right there. He's the one who fired at the victim. That is her testimony of the moment of the crime. Hey, Ghost Agron, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Order, order, order in the court. There you have it, Your Honour. This is exact and irrefutable proof. Okay. Oops, sorry, got to adjust a couple of things. Just adjusting a couple things. And we're back in the room. It seems it's been made clear. This is our true opponent. As much as I would rather not ask it of you, witness, please give us your testimony. Tell us what you saw with your own eyes during that frightful and sad spectacle. Okay. Let's give this a go then. That frightful and sad spectacle. Oh god, it's going to go through all of this, isn't it? That day I had joined Professor Watson for a rather late lunch. The professor wasn't able to eat, so I ordered a beefsteak for myself. The accused introduced himself to the professor, but they quickly started arguing. Then right before my eyes, the student took the professor's pistol and shot him. I had no firearm on my person, so it is simply impossible for me to have done the crime. I wouldn't say that. That does sound like a decisive testimony. Sir! I swear, I had no dispute with the professor. Do not interrupt. The word of one with a coal-black heart against one of... Wait. The word of one with a coal-black heart against the word of this noble white flower. Who do you think will trust? Even a coal-black eyesore such as yourself should know. So Ghost Agron, the story is a pretty long one. Let's just say that. Try and see if I can recap it for you. Basically, it is Phoenix Wright's ancestors, as far as we're aware. At this moment in time in the story, Naruhodo has taken his own defense, a la sort of Phoenix Wright style, instead of his best friend who was going to defend him anyway, Asogi. And they've sort of unfolded this murder of Professor Watson. That's sort of layman's on that one, but that sort of helps you catch up a bit. And this is sort of, I feel it's going to be one of the last few testimonies. Welcome, Maniac. Welcome to the stream. Naruhodo, didn't you learn anything earlier? Foolishly raising your hand isn't going to change your situation. It's about time you learned. It's just so frustrating. I was on the scene as well, just after that. When I relayed the testimonies of this lady and the two earlier witnesses to headquarters, it was concluded that this woman was not involved. She was then sent home. Ghost Agron, it isn't officially out in English. This is a fan translation by the wonderful people at the wonderful, wonderful Scarlet Study. They've been working over this for 2 or so years, and I've been following them about a year ago, and I managed to buy the 3DS version, but at the time there was only 2 episodes done, so I decided not to play until like 4 episodes were out, and I found out a couple months back that they actually released more episodes, so I'm very much happy to start streaming it. But yeah, I'll say it every time in the description. Check out their website. They're going through all the effort to localize an English patch for us to enjoy this wonderful game. So yeah, back in 2015 it was. God, that's basically 4 years ago now. God, man, we've been waiting this long for it. Oh, I'm glad you're enjoying it, honestly. I'm really enjoying the translation as well, all the things, as it were. Okay. I better get back to it. I want to get through this, to get through it in 3 to 4 hours, as one of you said. Okay. Now, if only the 2 witnesses' testimonies earlier were legitimate, In any case, this woman is wearing the same clothing as she did on the day of the incident. As you can see, there is no place where she could have concealed a pistol. I think you can hide a single pistol just about anywhere, though. I mean, think about it. 5 straps, in the hat, in the swan's hat. I mean, but under the hat, literally you could hide that anywhere. And unless you can demonstrate this hiding place to us, you're spouting mere conjecture. This dress has no pockets. There is no place to hide a pistol. That's what she says. Darn, I'd like to turn that woman upside down and give her a shake. Jesus Christ. You can't say that in this day and age usually. Okay, you'd better not be thinking of anything violent, nerd. Please do not shake her about, please. I can't help it. I wasn't the one who fired the gun, so there must have been another one. Yes, exactly. That woman must have concealed it somehow. That's what we need to prove. And for that to happen, we have to destroy her testimony, no matter what. And destroy her in the process. Wait, no. Oh, little smirk. Little smirk. She can understand. She can understand the language. Yes, Your Honour. That frightful and sad spectacle. That day I had joined Professor Watson for a rather late lunch. I'm going to press that one. 2 PM? That's certainly a late lunch, isn't it? Late lunches must be the latest trend in the Great British Empire. Isn't that so, my lady? Okay, I can understand that one. No. I'm pretty sure that's a no. That must be English for no. Of all the things that we can understand, that must be English for no, and delivered as sharp as a knife, no less. At present, this woman appears to be a guest in the medical research laboratory. Because of this, she would frequently go out to lunch with Professor Watson. But in this case, the victim had a doctor's appointment to go to. I think there was something about that written in the court record. That is correct. It seems that it was drawing close to 2 PM and the victim's procedure was finished. I see. That would make sense. Truly we are dealing with a lady of the Great British Empire. The witness came to the restaurant to eat with the victim. What happened next? The professor wasn't able to eat, so I ordered beefsteak for myself. The accused introduced himself to the professor, but they quickly started arguing. Let's press that one. I wasn't trying to pick a fight or an argument. I saw the professor, so I walked over to introduce myself. That's all. I understand your complaint, but there is little I can do about it. No, I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to the woman standing next to you. For starters, just what were the professor and I supposedly arguing about? That might be difficult to answer. Why? The reason is that Miss Brett does not seem to understand Japanese. Oh yes, indeed. Japanese is a worthless language anyway. Now is the time for our youth to learn English. I'm loving this so much. Prosecutor Aochi seems to be to believe English will be the language of many generations to come. That lady is telling her bold-faced lies with such a calm look on her face. I just have to find an opening. Even the smallest detail is fine. Anyway, it would seem that after the argument, the accused returned to his own table. If I recall, you said as much yourself. Yes. I still have some coffee left to finish. Very well. Next, regarding your movements. After I finished my coffee, I was getting ready to leave the restaurant. She's smiling again. Then right before my eyes, the student took the professor's pistol and shot him. Like I said, I never attacked him. And like I said, Naruto, that claim holds no water on its own. It's baseless. I didn't think even my own partner would scold me like that. Regardless, you've already admitted this much. Namely, that when the gunshot rang out, you were holding a pistol. Yes, that's true, but... I love it. It's just a little slap. When I was leaving, the gun on the floor was next to the professor. All I did was pick it up. In fact, I'd say... At the time, the lady was closer to him than I was. She was more suspicious. That's quite enough, you wretched schoolboy. Wretched? Your baseless accusations will turn this into an international incident. However, her testimony is in the same boat when it comes to lack of evidence. What are you on about? The lady is simply telling us what she saw with her own 2 eyes. I like how the mask is changing shape. Yeah, I have to admit, I agree with you, Hatman, on that one. The models are just absolutely amazing. The animations, the expressions. Oh, I'm just geeking out. I'm geeking out on this. Okay, the lady is simply telling what she saw with her own 2 eyes, and her eyes are somehow able to change the shape of a mask, you know. Logic. Well, if you ask me, this is already an international incident. Okay, I had no firearm on my person, so it's simply impossible for me to have done the crime. But can you prove that happened? Of course, I've already confirmed it myself. You've confirmed it? Directly after the incident occurred, I verified that she had no firearm on her person. When I asked her, she stated very clearly that she did not have one in possession. How exactly is that confirmation? I'm sure the police performed a physical examination on her, correct? No. But why not? The British lady stated very proudly that she did not have a pistol on her. In this country, we have no reason to press the matter any further than that. What? Or perhaps you couldn't press the matter any further than that. Regardless, if you really believe a ridiculous notion that this gentle lady would conceal a pistol, then why don't you prove it to us? In other words, he wants to see evidence. More translation? Normally, I would have remained at the scene and assisted the police's investigation. But it was almost time for the lady to give a research presentation, so she had to leave. So instead, you reported to headquarters and helped this woman flee the crime scene. I did not help her flee, I simply escorted her back to the university. The lady had no intention of making an escape. That's why she stands here before us now, on the witness stand, fair and honest. Where is this set in? As far as I'm aware, it is set in... well, it is set in Japan, but at a time before... Well... I can't pronounce it, but... Early time Japan. Okay, quite unlike a certain obstinate college boy. Hey, listen when your superior is talking bad about you. Hey, listen to my insults. So after getting into a heated argument with a victim, you shot him to death. That's a gigantic groundless lie, I can say that with absolute certainty. Japan around 1900. Okay, yeah. Take it from a translator. I'm no expert on that one. I'm just enjoying the game really much, you know. Yes, I thought so. However, that testimony carries an undeniable power. No doubt because it's coming from that young, elegant British beauty. And there's you wearing a pitch black school uniform. There's really no compassion. Says you wearing an all pitch black except for yourself, your red frilly headband. At any rate, this will be our only chance to expose that woman's cheap lies. If we fail to tear down her testimony, the trial is over. There's an intense bloodlust boiling in the room. Even as thick as you are, you feel it. Oh. Yeah, to be honest, it feels like I'm already more than half dead. And soon, I'll be all dead. I can't clear any contradictions in their testimony at all. If you're having trouble finding anything, just press any statement that strikes you as strange. Congratulations on the 5-star, Sky. What's that foreign belle really hiding under that mask? I have to drag her secrets out into the light through this cross-examination. Okay. Professor Watson, rather late lunch. The only one thing I didn't press is the beefsteak for the woman. Wasn't able to eat. You're referring to the professor's visit to the Hotter Clinic, right? That is correct. You didn't even ask her. By the way, did the lady know of this fact? Yes, she heard about the tooth extraction that same day. So then... you did eat this beefsteak after all. That is correct. A photograph shows how a scene appeared at the time. A frightful and sad spectacle. At the time, huh? Indeed, what a tragic event. To have come this far, this far eastern country as a guest, only to be entangled in such an incident. I, Algie, will become a wrathful god and sink my fist into the criminal's face. Try it, mate. Try it. So, the late Professor Watson didn't ingest anything then? That's right, other than the carbonated water. Carbonated? While he couldn't have a real meal, he was allowed to drink. So, the two of us made a toast, she says. A toast with carbonated drinks? Huh? So, what do you think of our testimony? It is very important because he can't have carbonated water. I think that lady's testimony may hide some deeper meaning. Oh, that's very interesting. What kind of meaning does it hold, pray tell? When the time is ripe, the meaning will reveal itself. The defense requests for the witness's last statement to be added to her testimony. You slipped past that one well. Now then, my lady. Would you please add that statement to your testimony for us? I happily oblige, she says. Wow, Asogi, I'll remember those words you just said. What are you talking about? When the time is ripe. I'm definitely going to start using that in everyday conversation. Could you please put effort into learning more, the more important things, Naruto? You're so bloody sassy. The professor and I made a toast using carbonated water. I'm pretty sure, I'm just going to double check it. On the medical report. Consume anything other than water, yep. What? One could say this testimony is clearly odd. What? I'll probably have to press that statement, don't I? The only thing that is odd, in my opinion, is your current mental state. No need to worry about me, Your Honor. Fine, fine, please, just put your hand down. Until I prove my innocence, I refuse to put my hand down. You're going to be waiting there a long time. Let me guess, I'm going to have to press it. Sorrow, no, it's not. Basically, it's a fan translation. There'll be information in the description of the team responsible for the translation. Hopefully that'll clear a couple things up for you. So they drank the carbonated water together, is that right? Yes. As their waiter, I remember pouring 2 glasses. Even though you're actually a detective. Then Miss Brett ate her beefsteak. I've heard that you Japanese didn't eat beef until you opened your borders, she said. Or she says. Yes, that's true. It sounds like such a desolate country. This is coming from a citizen of a country where they don't even have sushi. I mean, literally, sushi is absolutely amazing. Like, they haven't lived, clearly. Each country has its own specialties. It would be good to give them a try. That's also true. And now that I think about it, I was more shocked when I first tried carbonated water than when I first tried beef. Still, there's something about Miss Exchange Student's testimony. Ooh, that's a new animation. Can't believe something doesn't feel quite right. That face is like, Naruto, don't let even the smallest detail elude you. As small as it may be, there may always be a chance it could be related to the case at hand. It might just play a part in our great turnabout. Alright, understood, Asogi. The accused introduced himself. It's got to be... I'm trying to figure it out. I'm going to have to look in the court records. Okay, so don't need a school badge. I mean, I could probably present it and get a laugh, but... post-mortem... No, nothing saying there. Photograph of the victim. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. There's only 1 glass. The crime scene photo. Shown to death as you're on the ground as lie. Let's carry on. Yep, we've seen this before. Okay, I think I figured it. Drag her to the surface. Relate lunch. Toast using and wine glasses. Present. Yep. There's the. Oh, wrong one. Yes, got it. That's it. I'd like you to confirm something regarding this photograph. I mean, there's 2 glasses. I mean, it's a vase, but the lady herself just told us that the spectacle within this photograph was exactly how the scene looked at the time. That is correct. Even plurals, you gotta look into. Except, you know, that's strange, really strange. Yours is a strange one here. You've been unable to properly slam your desk even once. A little slap. Go. What exactly do you think is so strange about this photograph? I'm referring to the toast they made. The toast? The lady said she made a toast using carbonated water in a wine glass. But that doesn't make sense. The table should have 2 glasses on it. Oh! You're right. There's only a single wine glass. No matter how you look at it, that's just a trivial matter. There is no way a single wine glass could have any impact on the case. Wrong. You think that is trivial? That is trivial? Don't make me laugh. It's also trivial when the police conceal evidence to protect this woman. That's nonsense. I would never perform such a foolish act. Slap. Then shouldn't there be 2 wine glasses? I mean, think about it. They made a toast. Yes, you do have a point. While posing as a waiter, I brought 2 wine glasses to their table, but... talking gibberish. Detective, what did she just say? Evidently, the one who removed the wine glass was none other than Miss Giselle Brett herself. What? I had been so shocked by the events that unfolded before my very eyes, but I ended up hiding the fact that I had been there against my better judgment. Why? I can definitely see what that one is. Sorry. You see, it was a trivial issue after all. What? Before this fair lady's eyes, his university student killed the British man. You can't put her at fault for hiding 1 or 2 wine glasses in such a situation. That's absurd! Or could it be that you are condemning this frail foreign beauty's sense of playfulness? No, please. Don't just dismiss something like this as mere playfulness. Wait. Really? The fan has guilty writ. I did not know that. Oh my god. I need to look at that, honestly. Sorry. Please open your fan again, Ouchie. I want to see that for my own. Oh, this game. She says she took it from the scene by placing it within a small handbag. There we go. Handbag. She's got... Wonderful. A handbag? It's a small fashionable bag that ladies in the British Empire used to hold personal items. Oh, there it is. Oh, guilty. I love it. Oh my god. Yep. Oh my god. That's brilliant. Oh my god. It is just such a shame this game never made it into the West. Oh my god. I am just so in love already. Oh, it means sin, crime, and punishment. I'm still in awe no matter what. The detail on every single character is just This is just the desperate last stand of an evil university student grasping at straws. There is no need for the court to hear any more of his irrelevant points or false accusations. And she's already revealed that she's got a way of concealing something now, so literally, I know where to go with this. But it has nothing to do with the incident at hand. The defense must accept that. Is that understood, attorney? That's... I wonder. At this rate, if we want to continue to press this issue, we first need to prove that it is an important topic worth discussing. Yeah. Miss Brett took the wine glass away in her handbag, so the crucial question here is... Call attention to the handbag. Please hold on a moment. She put the wine glass in her handbag. Indeed, it's nothing out of the ordinary. Every lady in the Great British Empire owns a handbag, after all. As I recall, Miss Brett made a certain claim earlier. This dress has no pockets. There is no place to hide a pistol. However, now we know that she has a handbag. Then wouldn't it be possible for her to hide her pistol in the handbag? Like, literally? Wow, come on. Oh. There's my partner. I thought you noticed that contradiction. What do you mean by that, you dirty little... It's simple. The defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, picked up a fallen pistol and heard a gunshot. Since he did not pull the trigger of the pistol he was holding, there must have been another gun. Think of it as the true murder weapon. You can't mean... I'm actually thinking about this. Having it in an older setting makes so much more sense. And they can actually have a lot more leeway, because with an older game or an older setting, there's less technology. You see, like with the main series of Phoenix Wright, you got all this technology and the gun blast. I forget the name of it, but where they can put a bullet to a gun by forensics. With this, well, they can literally conceal twists here and there without having technology getting in the way and disproving it or proving it. I'm just having a blast. I'm just loving it so much. Did you check the contents of Miss Brett's handbag? No, I did not inspect it. I knew it. So in other words, the gun, the other gun, the real murder weapon, could have possibly been hidden within Miss Brett's handbag. What? What did you say? Order in the court. Detective, how do you explain this? Explain what, Prosecutor Ouchie? Why did you fail to check the inside of the handbag yourself? This lady has been forced to put up false accusations due to your lack of diligence. You did it, partner. With this, you've seized the opportunity to tear down her facade. Do you really think so? Yes. And I secretly do love the steampunk aesthetic. And it's one thing I loved about the reveal. Because it showed Sherlock Holmes with goggles, like floral style goggles, on a detective's cap. That just screams steampunk, and I love it. I'm just gonna say I love this game already, and I'm glad I've bought it and supported it, because I want. It is just a shame, honestly. Okay, ahem, my goodness, you have no faith in the Imperial Police, I see. It is true, I did not check the contents of a lady's handbag, because there was no need to do so. But what do you mean? I must thank the student attorney over there. He has reminded me of a piece of evidence I had forgotten to show to the court. This is the photograph here. Oh. I took this photograph as a precaution after the incident occurred. As you can see, Miss Brett's handbag is quite visible in this picture. But what? You can clearly see the inside of her handbag. Exactly, Your Honor. This is the handbag woven from leather straps. It seems to be in vogue in London's high society. My word. A handbag that so clearly reveals its contents? That's why there was no need to inspect it. After all, if there was a pistol inside, it would have stood out immediately. Ah! Therefore, the lack of a pistol would mean that Miss Brett is innocent. Oh, I love the head tilt together. Again, I express my gratitude to you for this chance to reveal more evidence, young student. No! Oh, that looked painful. He literally launched back and hit the wall. Order! Order! Detective, I order you to hand over that photograph as evidence. As you wish, Your Honor. photograph of the handbag has been filed into the court records. Before anything else, I hope I conclude the cross-examination of a witness. I'm actually going to look at that photo once more. I think I saw something. What's that? Ooh, there's a tattoo of some sort. What else? There's certainly some mark there on his hand. Literally nothing else. So it says, did his hair get more white? Wait a second, really? Ah, welcome to the stream, Brave Blitz. It looks like an ox scar, or some sort of tattoo, or marking. As long as there isn't a problem with this photograph, all doubts surrounding this case have been cleared. All that remains is to render a verdict. In other words, there is only one conclusion. No one was capable of committing the crime except for the student prostrated on his desk. Oh yeah, he's prostrated. No. As soon as I thought we were headed towards the great turnabout, instead we were shut down before we could even gain traction. Oh, Asugi's a bit miffed on that one as well. He thought, Asugi? Gonna get a beverage. Ooh. That should do it. Gotta keep the gullet well moisturized. Whoop. I'm sorry, Naruto. I'm just gonna call him Naruto now. Actually, no, that'd be no. I'm not. Naruto. Now that the cross-examination is over, there's no way for us to keep prolonging this trial. What then? Then the verdict will be. You put up a good fight for a know-nothing student, I'll give you that. However, putting up a fight in the face of a fair judgment is futile. Reflect on that fact to your heart's content from the comfort of your cell. Is this the end? I'm going to be sent to jail for a crime I didn't commit. That's my fate? And what about Asugi? This is going to make him give up on his dream of studying abroad. Hey, Asugi. What is it, Naruto? Are we really out of options? You heard the judge. As long as there are no problems with that detective's photograph, the trial cannot continue. It's impossible. Very well then, the court shall now proceed to hand down its judgment. It seems that the report to the Great British Empire can be made without further delay. Damn it! I will now announce the verdict for the defendant. Oh, yay! Hey! Please wait, Your Honor. Naruto? I don't think you should pass the verdict yet. What are you going on about now, amateur? When the trial is over and conclusion is reached, the judge passes down his verdict. That is the fundamental rule that exists within the walls of this Supreme Court. But His Honor very clearly said, as long as there isn't a problem with this photograph. All doubts surrounding this case have been cleared. All that remains is to render a verdict. He actually slammed the desk. Therefore, in the event that there is a huge problem with this evidence, the trial can't end here. Are you delusional? The only purpose of this photograph is to show what was in her handbag. How could you see a problem with it? I understand the defence's point of view. We have not yet taken the time to examine this photograph closely. Yeah! However, I cannot think of any clue that can be gleaned from the contents of his handbag. As if there ever was one. I'm tired of hearing the students' desperate false accusations. This objection is definitely not desperate. I'll have you know. Well, I mean, could be. I know for sure there's something that stands out. Literally, that little marking on his arm or hand. Come again? The trial may or may not end immediately, depending on what you have to say. Understood? He's actually hitting his gavel. Yes, Your Honor. In the photograph that Detective Hasanaga submitted as evidence, please proceed to point out the significant problem with this photograph. What the hell is that little mark? Please take a look right here. On the victim's wrist, you can see a mysterious scar. Indeed, it looks like a burn. I was wondering what you might blurt out in your desperation, but really? That has absolutely nothing to do with a lady's handbag, does it? That is indeed a scar from a burn. Could you elaborate, Detective? The police had noticed the burn as well in the inspection of the corpse. However, since it had nothing to do with the cause of death, it was left out of the records. That would only be fair, because even establishing precisely when the victim suffered the burn would be impossible to begin with. The more I look at this, the more I think there's something strange about this scar. But Prosecutor Aoshi is correct. As long as there's no clear connection to this case, I do not see any further need to further investigate this burn mark. Unfortunately, Your Honor, the time for her to dine with the heads of the university is quickly approaching. If it is all right, the witness would like to kindly request that she be allowed to leave. Oh, but of course, there's not a problem at all. Your Honor, please, let us hand down the verdict at once. Naruhodo, explain yourself. Are you saying that this burn mark is somehow related to the case? To tell you the truth, I don't even know myself, but if I just stand idly by, it's all over for me. No matter what, I have to keep pushing forward, even if I'm grasping at straws. Yeah, you're right. Sogi. If we can prove a connection between this burn mark and the incident at hand, we may be able to wrench open a door that was once locked to us. What now? There's no way you can possibly pull that off. I'm just gonna have a look at the court records again to see if there's anything. Bullet did not pass through his body. Nope. Nothing on there. Is there anything? Nothing at all. I think I figured it. Look at it. Look at it. Look at that. That's cool. I like it. There's a little ox head. I think I figured that one. Yep, here we go. Listen to baseless conjecture. In other words, all we need to do is show the evidence. We got him, boys. We got him. Always good to look over that. I mean, this is only the first trial, but oh, that is just brilliant. Oh, at the moment you pointed out into the photograph, I did not overlook the sudden darkness that overtook the witness's face. What? My only option is to establish a connection between the burn mark and the crime. Ever since the first case of Phoenix Wright, where you had to figure out time differences, that is when I love this series. Can't mess this up. I have to find evidence. I will turn it around. Now, in order for the defense to present evidence to the court. What evidence establishes a connection between the burn mark and this trial? The plate of beef! Oh. Oosh! I think photographs really are an extraordinary invention. Things that are easily overlooked by the untrained eye. Can be recorded eternally for all to see. Bum, 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 bum. And, what are you getting at? Tell us what we're supposed to see. I cannot allow your needless charades to waste any more of Milady's time. I hope you'll be willing to grace us with your presence for just a short while longer. The connection we're looking for is very clearly shown in this photograph. Why did the victim have such a mysterious burn mark on his body? What was the cause? The cause? A bluff as obvious as that won't work on me. You would do well to present your evidence immediately. Cause the burn mark. This little ox head. The beefsteak? The beefsteak isn't the important part. It's the iron plate under the meat. The plate? Oh! What's the matter, Your Honour? The iron plate bears a certain insignia. It is safe to assume that this is the mascot of Lycanthos. X says this is the stream only going to be the first episode. I'll probably wrap it up on this episode and then resume it a little bit later. Although I think my parents have now served up for dinner. I'll probably have to come back to this in a moment. Okay, our perfect match. Ouch! Naruto, you're really something else. He's right. Therefore, we can assume that the victim received the burn mark at Lycanthos. But even if that may be true, it doesn't mean he was burnt on the day of the murder. Surely it was on the day before the crime, or the day before that, or any other day. But, well, you see. Bad news, Prosecutor Ouchie. The chances are terribly low. Asugi? Why would that be? Look at how clearly the burn shows on his skin. A burn like this would have sent the restaurant into an uproar. Detective Hasanaga, what are your thoughts? An injury of such severity could not possibly slip by without causing a bit of a fuss. That can't be. The wound appears to be fresh. He was burned recently, and while the wound is indeed small, it has left a distinct burn mark, meaning this was an especially severe burn. Meaning, for example, oh yes, let me give you the conditions that would be present for a burn like that to form. You would need to press against a hot surface for at least 3 seconds at 90 degrees Celsius. One probably wouldn't be able to have scream. I've been undercover at Lycanthos for weeks, and I've never heard any screams like that. As a waiter of the restaurant in question, I can confidently assure you of that. But weren't you Focusing on your detective work? I agree with Detective Hasanaga. If you were to press your skin down on such a hot plate, you would have cried out in pain. It's just human instinct. But the detective didn't hear any screams. What's even stranger, on that day I didn't hear anything like that either. But what? If he had just accidentally dropped his hand on the hot plate for 3 seconds, can you really call it an accident if you leave it there for 3 seconds? At the time, the witnesses were me, the soldier, and the antique shop owner. Needless to say, all of us would have heard a scream if it happened. Isn't that right, prosecutor? Well, yes, that's true. Then it begs the question. Why did none of us hear Professor Watson's scream? What are you getting at? And I'll probably have to leave it there for about half an hour. I'll hopefully see you in a little bit. I've got some dinner to consume. And I don't think it's a beef steak. But I will see you all very, very soon. Hopefully you'll stick around. I'll see you guys very soon.